when my mom started telling my wife that she was doing it wrong, she was raising Ashley wrong, and that kind of got to my wife because, you know, it's your own daughter, and then there's your mother-in-law telling you that you're not doing it right, you're not doing it what you're supposed to do. That's one thing. And another thing is that you look at your own daughter and you got her, she's 4, she's not potty trained. She doesn't know her last name. She doesn't know if she's a boy or a girl. And the list goes on with these things. And I mean, she knows she's a boy or girl now because we taught her, and we taught her her last name. But initially when we got her, she didn't. And that combined with the fact that my mom keeps telling my wife, you know, she's doing it wrong. And then we see how Ashley was actually raised. The combination of the two just made my wife really angry. And the more my wife sees Ashley being that way, you know, not be able to potty train, it just get her angry. And I tell my wife, just stop, you know, just let it be.
This is the point where Zhao explains that his wife is not a bad person. The reason that his wife got aggressive with Ashley specifically is because Ashley was raised by his mother until she was 4 years old. After they got Ashley back, his mother started telling Ming Ming that she was raising Ashley wrong. He says that Ashley returned to them at age 4 without being potty trained, without knowing her last name, and not knowing whether she was a boy or a girl. That, coupled with the mother constantly telling her that she was raising Ashley wrong, just made Ming Ming angry. Every time Ashley would soil her diaper was a reminder of her mother-in-law criticizing her. The investigator asks why Ashley was raised by her grandparents in the first place.
Well, why did you give her to your mom anyway?
She was my mom.
No, I mean, why didn't you raise Ashley yourself?
Oh, I was running a restaurant. Couldn't really take care of everything, so I naturally could trust my mom, you know, to raise my daughter.
What?
And initially I told her to come down. I told her to bring Ashley down so that I could see her grow up and I could build up a relationship with her, but my mom refused for so long. You know, she kept telling her, kept calling her, and, you know, she gave it a try when Ashley was about 1.5. That's when I saw her 1.5, and then, you know, she said she could live with me. So that's when she took Ashley away again. That's when I saw her again at 4.
How long has she been down there, since she was 4?
About a year. She's 5 now. She just turned 5.
So when did the abuse start with your wife and Ashley?
About a little bit after a month after she arrived. In the beginning, it was not that bad. It was like discipline, you know, trying to correct her, you know, like you got a potty, the toilet, you know, stuff like that, minor stuff. And the thing with Ashley was that she still doesn't know to potty in the bathroom. So that really gets my wife going because we have her for a year now. She still can't. She's still not potty trained.
Zhao explains that they had too much going on with their restaurant and already caring for one child, so he figured that he could trust his mother. It doesn't seem to register with him that they just passed their child off to his parents as just another responsibility. I think it speaks very loudly to the lack of emotional attachment they have to the child. He goes on to explain that his mother never let him visit, and when they got Ashley back, she wasn't potty trained, and she still wasn't a year later. That seemed to still be the catalyst as to what set off Ming Ming the day she slammed her daughter's head into the floor. Both Ming Ming Chen and Liang Zhao were arrested and placed in jail. Both of them were charged with murder, 2 counts of endangering a child, tampering with evidence, obstruction of justice, and gross abuse of a corpse. Chen doesn't speak English fluently, so she has an interpreter who you can hear in the background.
You have been charged in the indictment with 6 counts, those being count 1, murder, a violation or a special felony. Count 2 is endangering children, which is a felony of the 2nd degree. Count 3 is also endangering children, a felony of the 2nd degree. Count 4 is tampering with evidence, a felony of the 3rd degree. Count 5 is obstructing justice, also a felony of the 3rd degree. And count 6 is gross abuse of a corpse, which is a felony of the 5th degree.
Ming Ming Chen eventually took a plea deal, which dropped her murder charge to involuntary manslaughter. She was sentenced to 22 years in prison, and since she is not a legal citizen of the United States, she will be deported back to China upon her release.
I find it difficult to imagine the horror for your child, Ashley. Barely 5 years old. The void of love, the complete absence of protection, the presence of such anger, the horror of being beaten by her own mother. And I use the word mother with great pain, I find, when talking to you. It's insulting to mothers who do what they are supposed to do for their children. No number of years is enough. 100 years is not enough.
Liang Zhao took a plea deal, and in return for testifying against his wife, the murder charge was dropped. He was sentenced to 12 years for the other charges. Their older daughter, Jojo, was placed into the custody of Stark County Department of Jobs and Family Services. She did not have any other family who could care for her, so she will remain in the custody of the state. She will be an adult by the time her mother is out of prison. Thank you for listening to Monsters. For more stories of the worst people on the planet, you can visit our blog at thisismonsters.com.